Welcome to Blowing Solutions Wide Open, where we're talking about all things spiritual, as well as creating new systems in the area of healthcare, finance, government, education, new environmental practices, and anything that helps the planet or helps humanity. My name is Addie Halkin. If you think that you have ideas or things to share in any of those areas, please feel free to email me at blowingsolutionswideopen@gmail.com or type the word guest in the comment section of this video, and I'd be happy to get back with you and potentially have you come on here and share with people what you know. Also, please like, share, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more content or you have an interest in getting alternative information out to more people. Today, I want to just go over a little bit about what I know about the TikTok ban. In case you've been living under a rock, here's what's gone on. This thing has been, the government has tried to pass this for I think years now. I think even back in the first Trump administration, they were trying to pass this ban. It wasn't taking in the government. And so what it sounds like they did about 9 months ago is they stuffed the TikTok ban bill into the funding for Ukraine bill. And apparently enough people in the government felt like they wanted to support that funding for Ukraine. And so the TikTok ban bill passed by default. I don't know how that's even legal. That is the way our government operates. They don't even follow their own rule. One doesn't have anything to do with the other. One's about war and one's about, a social media app. But that's apparently what they did in order to get the ball rolling since they could not seem to get this through. And so it's come to my attention that what they've done to continue to garner support in the government to get this TikTok ban bill passed is that the owner to Facebook and Instagram has not been very happy because TikTok has been definitely outperforming his platforms. I personally suspect the reason he's so unhappy is because it's making his stocks go down. But anyhow, he took money into the government and basically kind of proposed to a lot of them, if I give you this money, go ahead and buy Meta and Instagram and Facebook stocks, because if we can get this TikTok ban to pass, all those users from TikTok are going to need a platform if they want to be online. And so our stocks are going to shoot up. And so, he gave him basically insider trading information. Apparently, our government is full of insider traders. No surprise here, but that's how they do. That's how they operate. And so that is apparently what is going on in regards to the TikTok ban. The narrative that our news and our government puts out there about TikTok is that it's some kind of Chinese spy device app. I can't even get through that. It's so ridiculous. I think the original owner of TikTok owns about 20% of it. And yeah, he was from China. And then all the data from the users on TikTok is stored in a server in Texas in the USA. So I don't, yeah, all I can say is that it seems to me that TikTok is actually one of the safest places in regards to data. In fact, the owner of of Instagram and Facebook has been caught already multiple times for giving data to China. So nothing's happened to him. So, I mean, it's just one thing after another where it's very apparent that, as usual, we're being lied to about this. But the thing about this is that it's going to affect a lot of people. There's a lot of people that make their sole incomes on TikTok. There's a lot of people who can't work, and this is how they support themselves. There are a lot of people that supplement their income through TikTok because everything's gotten so expensive. This is the way they make ends meet. And so, the other thing about this whole thing is that, those people who are, supporting this TikTok ban, half of them, if not more, are on TikTok. So how is it so unsafe? I could go on and on about this, but the thing is that the creators on TikTok are absolutely hysterical and so inventive. And I have to say, I am not a social media person. In fact, when I was younger, I vowed to never get on it. I couldn't care less about the social aspect of it. I just eventually realized that, if I ever wanted to start my own business, I probably wasn't going to be able to avoid social media and the internet and these things. So that's the only reason why I ever even considered any of this. But it wasn't until 2023 that I got on TikTok, and it was almost by fluke. It was like I was taking an online course, and one of the online assignments was to get a TikTok account. So I did. I was thinking it was going to be like some kind of kids app. That's what I had heard, where people just like did dancing videos and stuff. I didn't actually understand what it was. But when I got on it, I was actually very surprised by what it actually was. It's an app where people are super empowered. Back when I first got on it, people were not being very censored. So you were getting like incredible amounts of information. It woke me up to how many people have woken up on this planet. I was kind of enlightened by the fact that there's so many people who are in touch with their spirituality. There's so much useful information, not to mention the fact that, you know, um, it's really like making our news look bad because you're getting thousands and thousands of videos about news stories, whether, they're crime stories or um, weather disasters or whatever. You're getting thousands of people making videos who are in at the scene of these news stories, and you're getting a very different story from the people than you are from our corrupt scripted narrative news and Google and Bing and all those things. So it's really played a pivotal role in waking people up more and more. And I believe that's part of why they want to shut it down. I think that they don't they they have seen how empowered we've become on TikTok. I think, I heard something to the effect that the government actually offered the TikTok owners a ultimatum. And they said, I don't know if they said we'll buy it or what they said, but it was something to the effect of, if you hand TikTok over, we won't shut it down. And, obviously the owners of TikTok said, screw you, no. And I'm glad they didn't participate with the mafia. I mean, the American government. But, they, basically, I think that our American government doesn't necessarily want to shut it down. I think that they want to get in there like they have with all the other apps and control the information. One of the reasons I don't think they want to shut it down is because they want the data. Apparently, there's big business in data. So if you can see where people are going, who they're engaging with, what they're listening to, what they're buying, there's a lot of power in that. There's a lot of finances to be funneled through that information. And so I think that that is ultimately, what they're after. But since TikTok won't give it up, it's most likely going to be shut down. But there are some really creative things that the creators on TikTok have come up with. And I just want to share some of those things. This is one of the things that they're recommending that we do if TikTok does shut down. They're recommending that we go in and we delete our Instagram and Facebook app and log out of those programs. Not forever, but at least for a week. I'm going to try to do a month. We'll see if I last that long. But what happens when you do that is you crash the algorithm, and the stocks may not rise up, and they may not get what they want. And I think that sends a really good message of, you want to mess with us. You need to know where your income comes from. And so I love that, that suggestion on taking power back. I certainly am happy to participate in it. It's actually a pretty peaceful way to say, no, we're not going to put up with this. The other thing, there's some really funny ones here that some of the creators have come up with is, should TikTok be banned on the 19th of January? They're saying go to the government websites on the 19th at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So congress.gov, justice.gov, whitehouse.gov, and just go there at that time. Because if you have like a huge influx of people going to those websites, it crashes their websites. I know it's kind of immature, but at this point, I don't care. You ruin people's businesses and lie like this. That's hilarious. And it's a great idea. Another idea that they've come out with is that check out the list of politicians that have supported this TikTok ban, and go to their websites and, fax them and, call them and do all the things. Just, asking the things that you would ask if you were normally on TikTok, since we don't need the app, since they know better than we're just going to use them as TikTok. Totally inconveniences them, and really funny. And then the last the last idea that I've heard on TikTok around how we handle this, and this one is absolutely hysterical, is download the app called, I believe it's called Red Note, and it is the Chinese version of TikTok. And apparently it's the number one downloaded app because of this. And the hilarious thing about this is that you know, the Americans are downloading this app and they're getting on this app and they're literally giving over their data to China, which is exactly what they said, the reason they said they were shutting this app down. Um, and we're giving over, since data is big business, we're basically giving this big business to China. And the funny thing that's happened is, as people have downloaded this app and checked it out, the majority of it is in Mandarin because it's a Chinese app. But there are some of the Americans that are talking about how, like, there are some Chinese people on there that know how to speak English, and they're finding that they're conversing with them, and that they're realizing that we're all pretty similar. We all can't stand our governments. We know how corrupt they are, and we just want to talk to each other at this point in time. And so it's kind of been like a real unifying experience, and funny as can be. I wish I could actually like stitch some of the TikTok videos into this video. I'm just not very tech savvy, but some of this stuff is absolutely hysterical. And I love that we're finding ways to take our power back, especially peaceful ways, because, we've had enough of this. If you're sick of this kind of crap, it's all over the place. It's not just, this is not even the worst of it as far as what our government has been up to. And it's pretty much the majority of them. It's not just one side or the other. If you're sick of it, play along, do some of this stuff. It's not really, it's not even close to as bad as what they're doing. And I don't know how petty I'm going to get with it, but I know that I am going to be doing some of this. So I thought I'd let you know about that. I think it's funny stuff. And I think that, it's a sign of the times. I'm personally not worried about this at all. If TikTok shuts down, I think we're going to just come up with a better app is what I think is going to happen. Some genius is going to come up with something that is even better than TikTok. That's what I think is going to happen. We're too evolved at this point. The dark is not going to win out. Things have really shifted, and so I can't wait to see what goes on next. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll catch you on another one.